name is John Festinger, and this is the second video blog edition of News of the Week, which comes out of the UBC Faculty of Law's video game law course. Hopefully, this second edition will have greatly improved audio. Among other things, this video blog is a bit of an experiment in teaching, and I am my own technical director, which means that I don't have a very good technical director. So you will see some things change over the next couple of weeks, I'm sure, as I keep experimenting with making this better and improving its quality for those of you who are misguided enough to want to watch it. If you look at this week's News of the Week for the week ending September 3, 2014, you'll notice that it's 10 to 15 items shorter than it usually is. I didn't go on vacation. I didn't become any lazier than I already am. What seems to have happened is, as we used to say when I worked in television, we talked about a slow news day. This was a slow news week, presumably because during the last week of August, a lot of people are trying to get their last week of vacation in, quite justifiably. So what we have are some continuing stories, which you often see in these circumstances, and the most notable one for me to bring to your attention is the fourth story under the first item under games. Saints Row developer, open quotes, Sarkeesian is right, close quotes. And you might remember from last week's blog and generally from the media that researcher and producer Anita Sarkeesian was chased from her home by threats over the internet that result from her work exposing misogyny in games and exploring the depiction of women in games. Hopefully the police are making headway on that investigation. In any event, it's really significant that developer of Saints Row, a game that was highly criticized for its depiction of women when it came out, has essentially said, we've got to think about this stuff, and we can do better. So, a step forward in a difficult situation. Another related series of stories that you'll find revolve around sort of evolving criticism of gamers, and probably talk a lot more about that next week. But whether we should even use the word gamer anymore. To me, that's all semantic silliness, because there's nothing inherently problematic in the word gamer. It all really comes down to the deeper meanings and what we do rather than simply using a label and how we use it. And I know that academics are often accused of semantic silliness, so the irony is not lost on me. From there, I'd like to move to what I would think is not any kind of silliness. It's a story, you'll see a couple of stories under 15. Under digital, Microsoft continues its campaign against a U.S. warrant demanding overseas data. So here we have Microsoft thoughtfully, and I would suggest principally, confronting one of the more difficult issues that digital technologies have thrown up for us in terms of their worldwide reach. And that's the thing about video games. They've become worldwide. They've become huge, which is why you know, the issue of misogyny, which has always been there, has become so much larger. So here we have another very real, very large issue with huge implications that include games. Here Microsoft is in court resisting a U.S. warrant that seeks emails and data that it has stored in a foreign jurisdiction. So this has to do with extraterritorial jurisdiction of what is essentially an American company. But you can quickly see all countries all over the world seeking jurisdiction over their own companies. And all of that runs directly into the fact that, at least in the digital world, most companies are worldwide in one way or another. So hopefully Microsoft succeeds, but it all goes to, I guess, one of the ongoing issues of the course and many other courses like it, and that is we have to look more deeply at these issues. They are very, very complicated because digital changes an awful lot of paradigms. And hopefully we look at issues like extraterritorial jurisdiction with a great deal of principle. And we obviously need to look at the issue of misogyny in games, likewise, with a great deal of principle, reflection, and thought. And that's how they relate, at least for this week. Thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see you next week, I hope. Thanks.